But speaking of the off-season, now we're going to go back and take a look at last year's season. Talk about taking chances and gambles. That's what a good promotion is all about. The Stafford Motor Speedway took that kind of a chance in 1987. The SK Modifieds were the premier division, and the excitement for them proved to be highly competitive. The management of Stafford combined the SKs with the late model streets. And in the marketplace, they took a great deal of criticism in reference to that. But still, it all worked out well, and the SK Modifieds really put on a great show. We'll go back and relive 1987 at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Take a look at SK Modified racing at its absolute best, and take a look at the late model streets, too. But first, before we do all of that, we want to remind you that in addition to that, on this edition of Race Week, we'll also be taking a look at auto parts swap and sell. And we certainly hope that you'll be a part of this edition as we go now and take a look at SK Modified racing at the premier half-mile race facility, the Stafford Motor Speedway.
The first event at the Stafford Motor Speedway for the SKs for 1987 was the Spring Sizzler. They were ready to do battle once again. The green flags would come out and the start of the 1987 season would begin. Ricky Fuller would work his way to the inside when trouble would develop, and Wayne Dion would drop off the pace with car number 66. Ted Christopher would quickly work his way to the front of the field, as Richie Gallup would look strong with the number X6, quickly moving into position number 2. Jeff Fuller puts the Variety Auto Sales number 16 to the inside, suddenly gets crossed up, comes across the track and tags the wall down the front straightaway. A mix-up occurs, bringing a caution. Rick Fuller is pressured heavily by Ted Christopher. Kerry Malone quickly goes to the outside, and Bo Gunning comes to life. All of a sudden, Ricky Fuller is out of the event with car number 25. And Teddy Christopher has a problem. Smoke erupts from beneath the hood of the automobile, but he is able to rejoin the competition here. Gallup is on the outside and dialed in. Christopher down low. Evenly matched, they run lap after lap. Teddy Christopher still smoking. He will maintain position number 1 and secure the victory as the checkered flag will wave to start the 1987 season. By the middle of June, the competition proved to be highly competitive in the SK Modified. Brad Thrall would lead this event when suddenly Buck Ackley would go spinning with car number 71. Kerry Malone would also be involved in the mix-up, and so wouldn't car number 13 for Teddy Christopher. Christopher would make heavy contact with the wall. Back towards the front of the field, a new battle was developing. Suddenly another spin would occur on the racetrack. Sonny O'Sullivan would be involved in this mix-up, so would Marcel Luttrell with car number 6. Mike Christopher was coming on like gangbusters. He would dial in down low when suddenly he would lose some suspension parts and go spinning by himself. Mike Christopher would now be out of the event, but car number 66, Ricky Fuller, would hold on to secure a victory at the Stafford Motor Speedway. More great competition continued during the month of July in the SK Modified. Leading the field off the turn, a new challenge was developing. Ted Christopher was coming quickly to the front in hot pursuit of John Anderson. In a turn number 1, Ricky Summers gets a tap and he goes spinning with car number 59. Summers spins across the racetrack to bring out yet another caution. When the field goes back to green off turn number 4, Jeff Berry gets out of shape. Wendell Kilcolin squeaks by with car number 84. Berry goes sliding to the center of the infield when Marcel Luttrell gets out of shape. Sonny O'Sullivan makes it by a massive mix-up. Ed Plemke Jr. is involved here. But Sonny O'Sullivan is in command of the event. He will hold on to secure his first win of 1987. Twin 50-lap feature events would be the story at the Stafford Motor Speedway next for the SK Modifieds, and once again it would be a night to remember. Close competition would be the setting for this in the best in open wheel competition. Christopher would lead the event when Ron Rocco would start to dial in and reel him in. It would be a battle of the 13s as Rocco was putting on some heavy pressure. Suddenly, Jerry Pearl would go spinning in the SNS race cars, number 33. Pearl would regroup and rejoin the field and pick up from the back of the field, but the checkered flag will wave and Ted Christopher would secure the win. Round number 2, and the competition proved to be highly competitive once again, as the SK Modifieds were set to go the distance. Close competition saw car number 7 go spinning. Richie Gallup involved, and Sonny O'Sullivan. Larry Ross would also be involved in the mix-up here. John Anderson was coming on strong, as Bob Potter would move to the outside with car number 52. Brad Thrall would almost stop at the racetrack. Bo Gunning would be involved in the mix-up here, and so would Rick Summers with car number 59. Wendell Kilcolin Jr. heads back to the pits. Back towards the front of the field, more great close competition here as the battle is on. Ricky Fuller leads the pack, and down to the line, he will secure the win. Modified Madness was up next for the SK Modifieds, and it too would be a night of madness and a night of excitement. Ricky Summers was quickly working his way to content at the front of the field when Bo Gunning would go down low and take over position number 1. Trouble would develop off the turn. Ed Flemke Jr. would have a problem with his suspension. A car would go spinning to the inside. Flemke would be heading down pit road. Bo Gunning, Kerry Malone battling right up front when sparks would fly towards the middle of the pack. Richie Gallup was coming on strong to the outside. Challenge was on. Gallup was coming to the front, but Gunning would hold on and pick up yet another impressive victory. In rows of 2, the field would come to post once again. Late in the month of July, the field was starting to get strung out impressively. Leading the field off the turn would be car number 10 for Ed Flemke Jr., when all of a sudden Kerry Malone would get out of shape and go sliding towards the center of the infield with car number 79. Ricky Fuller would hold off the challenges of Sonny O'Sullivan. Bo Gunning was patiently waiting in the wings, and so wasn't Ted Christopher. But Ricky Fuller would be the man that would secure yet another victory in the Privilege Auto Sales number 66. Gary Leach would quickly jump into position number 1 with car number 34. Ed Flemke Jr. would challenge impressively on the outside. When Richie Gallup would try to move in, tap the back bumper of Leach, and Leach would go spinning. Towards the front of the field, Sonny O'Sullivan was getting dialed in. Mike Christopher down low. Jerry Pearl, when all of a sudden, Ricky Fuller would make contact with Pearl. John Anderson would be involved, and so wouldn't Kerry Malone. Richie Gallup would head suddenly back towards the pit area. This time, Ed Flemke Jr. and Bo Gunning would come together, but Ronnie Rocco would secure the win with car number 13. Starting the month of August, there was more close racing action from the SK Modifieds at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Deep into the turn, the action proved to be highly competitive as Ed Flemke Jr. would get dialed in on the outside. Jimmy Broderick could have a problem and drop off the pace rather suddenly. Down the back straightaway, a new battle was on. Kerry Malone would suddenly drift up a bit. Leach would be involved in yet another mix-up. Bo Gunning would go sliding towards the center of the infield. Ron Rocco was now in command, and Ricky Fuller was right there to contend with him. Spires would meet with misfortune and tag the wall. Buck Ackley would be involved here as Jerry Pearl would come back to contend with car number 33. But Ed Flemke Jr. from Southington, Connecticut would secure a victory at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Wendell Kilcolin Jr. would be starting in on the outside of row number 1 in this event. He would quickly try to contend when suddenly a mix-up would occur off turn number 4. Ricky Summers would go spinning with car number 59. Jerry Pearl was looking impressive when Richie Gallup would go sliding through the center of the infield with the number X6 automobile. Back towards the front of the field, Kerry Malone is looking strong, but Jerry Pearl is dialed in down low. Jerry Pearl will hold on and pick up a victory in the SK Modifieds. Another exciting round of competition saw this occur in the SK Modifieds at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Leading the field was car number 61, when all of a sudden Ricky Fuller drops off the pace with car 66. Down towards the line, it is now Richie Gallup in command of the event when Bo Gunning literally rides over the back end of Kerry Malone's machine all the way down the front straightaway at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Back towards the front of the field, Christopher moves in and challenges Ricky Gallup. The two make contact in the turn. They will go spinning. The leader of the pack and the second-place automobile are involved in the mix-up, and both are not too pleased with the outcome here. It is Jerry Pearl that will hold on and consistently pays off for Pearl, who secures the win. More great racing action from the SK Modifieds during the month of September at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Middle of the pack sees Jerry Pearl coming towards the front, looking for a championship shot. Trouble now develops. As Beaupre gets involved in a mix-up, he comes back across the track and slams the wall in turn number 1. Beaupre is out of the event, and now Ricky Summers drops off the pace with car number 59. Off the turn and down to the line, Malone is moving in. Gallup is in command. Sonny O'Sullivan waits in the wings, and so does Mike Christopher and Ronnie Rocco. The Mighty Five will battle to get to the front of the field, but the victory will go to Richie Gallup. Ted Christopher looks so impressive, holding off the challenges of Marcel Latoile, as Christopher is the man to take down the title and secure a victory here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. SK Modified still up next with more great racing action expected. Sonny O'Sullivan coming through the front from the middle of the pack as Alan Rosanes leads him with car number 17 for a short while. Rosanes drops off the pace. The 17 goes out wide. A mix-up occurs in turn number 1. Wendell Kilcolin Jr. hits the wall hard. Dan Beaupre goes to the outside. Broderick tries to keep it nice and low. Another mix-up occurred. This time involved in is Alan Rosanes. Flames are up from beneath the automobile. He is out of harm's way. Car number 17 is out of the event. Jerry Pearl is also involved in the mix-up. He will lose the title at this point. Bob Potter challenges Jimmy Broderick for position number 1. Potter is still the man that is in command of the event. Kerry Malone dives down low underneath Jimmy Broderick and tries to take over position number 2. But Bob Potter will hold on for the victory.
Well, we hope that you've enjoyed a look at the exciting SK Modified division. Remember, at Stafford Motor Speedway, they are the stars of the show for the 1988 year. Coming up next, we'll take a look at late model competition at the premier half-mile facility. But right now, we'll take a commercial break, and we'll be back with more of the best in New England auto racing right here with us on Race Week.